What's up guys, GK here with Corbin's. Today I'm going to show y'all how to sight in the UV slider. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, but got some space where I can finally shoot it in at 20 and 60. So we're going to try to do that today. A little bit breezy, but I'm going to just take y'all through the basics on the quickest way, easiest way that I found to sight in this UV slider. So awesome sight. We got it mounted on the Lift 33 here. Axis and everything's already level. Now we're ready to move into the sight in process. So we'll go over this sight, take it out there, show y'all how to do it at 20 and 60, lay the correct tape, and get you going ready for hunting season. Alright, so with the slider edition scope housing, I'm going to start off by ignoring my top green pin, my bottom green pin, and then that very, very small bonus pin that's right above the leveler bubble. I'm going to ignore all three of those. The only pin I'm focusing on is going to be this one right here, this middle yellow, which is called the fixed pin in this sight housing. As you can tell, camera to focus. You can see through there, maybe hard to tell, but there's two screws, just the top pin and the bottom pin. We're going to ignore that. I just want to focus on this middle pin. Again, ignoring every other pin on this sight except for that middle yellow pin, which is this one right here. That is your fixed pin. As you can, if you see on the dials right here, get that to focus, I have two green indicators, one yellow indicator. Right now, I'm just going to focus on that yellow indicator with the middle yellow pin. Again, this pin right here. It's the only one, middle yellow, that I'm going to focus on to sight this in. So, with this bow set up, we are now ready to go outside and shoot this at 20. And then we'll back it up at 60 and find the correct sight tape. Let's go out there and check it out. Alright, so now we're out here. We're going to start this process at 20 yards. Make sure we're 20. Alright. And again guys, we're only going to use the middle yellow pin and the middle yellow indicator on this process. And shoot this process in. I'm not saying you have to do this same day. I mean, it's good to shoot in, a couple days in a row just to make sure and confirm that sight tape. But today I'm just going to kind of show you the process, but always take a couple extra days. Just shoot it in, check your 20, check your 60, do it again the next day, because you can vary on how you shoot day to day. You want to make sure that sight tape's dialed. So, middle pin, 20 yards, go at that top center dot. I'm a little low, move it down, left and right, perfect. Just for the sake of this video though, I'm going to show y'all how to just sight it in. So, middle pin, middle indicator, 20 yards. Better. Try it again. Alright, let's go take a look at that. Alright, so here we are at 20. First one was a little low. We made that adjustment. Other two were pretty good at 20. I like where that's at. Going to back up to 60 now. And this is where it can get a little bit tricky. But really need to hone in your 60 yarder so you can get the correct tape on there. So let's back up to 60, shoot a few rounds and see what we got. Okay. So I got my 20. I've walked back here roughly to 60. I haven't touched my sight yet. And here's why. Easiest way to do this, get a silver Sharpie and physically mark. It's hard to see out here, but I'm gonna mark where my yellow, my middle indicator is at 20 right now. So I just put a little silver mark there. That's where 20 is gonna be at. You'll see why I put these marks in a minute. Now I'm going to unlock my sight. I'm gonna rover this down to where I think 60 would be, just kind of guessing. And we're going to start there. This can be the lengthy process because you're kind of guesstimating where 60 is going to be. You can do a walk back if you have all the time and want to take that time. I don't mind. I have a backstop here. I don't mind sending them at 60, but sometimes some guys don't have that backstop luxury, so it's not bad to walk back 10 yards and just barely start roving your sight, shoot it at 30, shoot it at 40, 50, until you get close to 60. Then you can hammer in where that sight needs to be. But for now, I'm going to have a good guess of where 60 is going to be. Middle pin, middle yellow indicator. I'm going to shoot probably, I don't know, 15 to 25 arrows from this spot once I get a good feel where that 60 is, just to shoot it in and make sure, okay, one, I'm shooting good. Two, that's where I think 60 is going to be. And then I'll put a mark there, and then we'll talk about the sight tips. But now, let's get down to shooting at 60. Make sure we're at 60 here. 60 on the dot. One thing I failed to mention, guys, get your probably 2 best arrows. Consistent in weight, consistent spinning, best flying arrows, the ones you're going to hunt with, and do the sighting process with those. The more specific and accurate you can be on it, the better off your sight tape's going to be. So, all right, I've kind of rovered this sight down to guess kind of where I think 60 is going to be. And we're going to shoot quite a few arrows just to dial it in and go from there. So, 60 yards, middle pin, middle yellow indicator. That one looks pretty darn good already. Maybe just a tick high. I'm not going to make any adjustments yet because I'm going to shoot these in quite a bit. Alright, let's go pull those and then kind of reevaluate and then shoot some more before I make a mark, before I do anything else. Alright, here's the first two at 60. I'm a little high. Second one was just a tick right, but not bad. I'm gonna move that sight just a fraction up and then shoot it in, just because that's about 4 inches higher than I want to be. I can go ahead and make a slight adjustment and then really take some time and shoot it in there. Good guess, good ballpark area to start at. Now we can just hone in at 60 to make sure that I'm shooting good, and this is why we do this process for at least a couple days in a row if you have the time. I like my height here at 60. A little bit left, some right, but most of them were pretty good. Got that sighted in pretty quick. Not bad. Wind's blowing about 10 to 15. But now I'm just going to make a little silver Sharpie mark right where my 60 is. So I have my 20-yard mark, my 60-yard mark. Then I'm going to take y'all inside and show y'all how we can lay this sight tape. This is a good, fast way to do it. Again, take a couple days. Like today's a little bit windy. But I mean, my height was pretty consistent. Left and right was a little off, but that could just be a little bit of wind. So, like where my height is, I'm gonna go ahead and put a tape on there once I show, just to show y'all how to find it. But I'd still definitely shoot in these marks for a couple more days just to make sure you're shooting well. Really dial in your tape. The more specific and accurate you can be on dialing your tape, the better. But I like where my height's at, and just for the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and lay a tape, show y'all how to finish setting up this sight. But 20 and 60, not a bad sighting process. Let's go inside and check out the tapes. As you can see here, that's my 20 mark, there's my 60 mark. Easiest thing to do, you have these two Allen screws, Allen wrench that comes with the sights in there. Let's go ahead and break these open. These screws are tiny, so don't lose them. Set one there, set two there. Got it. Alright. And then my sight tape is off. You can see my two marks. Now, let me show y'all just a quick, easy way to do this. All right, guys. So I've now taken my tape off. I have my 20 mark and my 60 mark. On your tapes, you're going to get 2 pages of right-handed tapes, 2 pages of lefties. We're going to use the righties. And right here is your calibration tape. All I'm going to do is compare my 20-yard mark and my 60-yard mark to that tape and see where we're at. These numbers are really small, guys, so you kind of have to get in there. It's between 15 and 20. I'm going to say it's closer to about 17. I'll look on my tapes. Here's 17. I'm going to go ahead and grab that out. Peel off tape 17, throw it to the side. And now, I'm just going to lay it down to match it. 20, 20, and 60, and they line up to my dots really, really well. Just like that, guys. Tape 17 is on there. They're on my 20 and 60. Try to get it straight. Kind of leaning over the camera, so don't judge how nicely I laid this down. But do not put this back on the bow yet. I'll show you guys a little trick. Let's check it back on. I'm going to take some Allen wrenches, and I'm going to remove the pins. Be this guy right here. And they don't unscrew all the way, so when you hit that and it stops, just quit unscrewing, and you can pull your pin cartridge out. They're in there pretty snug, which is nice. They added some rubber and stuff on the inside to help that stick. But I now have my pins. You can see it the best. You're kind of at a weird angle, but I'm now going to go ahead and align my pins to that tape. Again, your 30 is your fixed. So I'm going to bring this 40 down a hair. Compare it. It's a little much. And those pins, 20 down just a fraction. Alright, those look pretty spot on. So now, since I have them spaced, I'm going to insert that right back. And here's another quick little tip. If you guys can, once you get your pins lined up, see where that bonus pin hits. Mine's at about 58. It's kind of where that bonus pin is on my tape from my angle. It's hard to see because this camera's kind of blocking me from getting down on it. But 58 is where the bonus pin starts. So let me install this stuff back and show you how we do it. Alright, pins go back just the way they came out. Just like that. Allen wrench, here's the screw. Don't over tighten, guys. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, let me see if I can get this close enough to where y'all can see it. It's now time to set my tape. Alright guys, now with this tape, I'm going to install it right back where it was. You'll see why in just a sec. My yellow pin is still at 20. And you're going to say, well, that doesn't add up. That doesn't mark up to that top pin. Top pin's not at anything. I'll show you why in a minute. Sometimes I have to peel that tape up down the bottom. There we go. Now, I'm going to make these pins line up to where they need to go. So, my top pin is my 20 pin. My middle fixed pin is my 30 pin. And my bottom pin is my 40. Let's get those indicators correct. I can move the 20 and the 40, guys. Can't move the 30. And that is the main reason why we sight in these sights this way. Let me just reiterate, re-explain. For the sight-in process, middle yellow pin, middle yellow indicator. We will shoot it at 20, get a mark. Rover down, we will shoot it at 60, get a mark. Go back up to 20, set it. Get your tape, line your tape up. Go ahead and space out your pins. They're not going to be exact, but it saves you a lot of time. Put the tape back on with your yellow pointing at 20. And once the tape is on there and you're screwed in, your pins are spaced out where they need to be, I'm then just going to space out my pins correctly with my indicators. So, top pin is 20, middle one is now 30, bottom one is 40. So, rover down there, boom. We are now set at 20, 30, 40. The only reason we sight in with that yellow indicator and that yellow middle pin at 20 and 60 to start out is because it is the fixed pin. That's how we're going to calibrate and get our tape. Then when you lay your tape on there, you have your three fixed pins, 20, 30, 40. You have your three. Once you get that tape laid on there, you have your three pins. You have your 20, you have your 30, you have your 40, and now when I go to rover, each pin changes yardage. So now, for example, if you can see that, top pin's at 60, middle pin's now at 67, Second pin's at 74. So rover it back up there. There you go. Now another trick. I said don't get rid of those lefty tapes. Hang on to them. Grab tape 17 because that's what our spacing is. All right, 17. Let's come over here. We have an indicator on this back side. So now, all I want to do now is try to line up where this bonus pin started, which was 58. So, and you can take this off, guys, if you wanted to. 58, laying it down. Bueno. And if it's not exact, don't worry about it. You can unscrew these and slide it up and down. But that is perfectly on 58. Now that is my bonus pin. That's how you lay the sight tape. Now, let's go double check it. Now, let's just double check everything. I do this at 30 yards, just because that's my fixed pin. I'm going to check my tape using my middle pin, the fixed one, the yellow. I'm just going to check my tape at 30, back up to 60, check it. Then at the last minute, I'll come back in and sight in my 20 and 40. Right now, I just want to make sure that is the correct tape, and that's where it needs to be. So 30 yards. Middle pin. That looks pretty good. Again. Same spot. So 30 looks good. Let me back up to 60. I'm gonna check that bonus pin as well at 58, then also check the tape at 60, but everything looks good. Have a little fun. Gonna check the bonus pin at the bottom. When I laid the tape down next to my pins, it showed my bonus pin being at 58, which is my back tape here. I'll put the left-handed tape on here. So 58 on that. Let's see if it matches up. Bonus pin, very, very bottom pin, just above the bubble. Smoked it. Oh, Aspen's gonna go get it for us, guys. Aspen! Good girl! Nice. She likes to play fetch sometimes. She'll bark at me when I shoot my bow. See what I mean? Middle yellow. Rover it down to 60. Let's check it. Ignoring everything else, guys. Still focus on the middle pin right now. So at the top of the black dot, tick high. That one looks about the same spot, top of the black. So, my sight tape looks pretty good. If anything, I went a little bit high on it. So it's always best, in my opinion. For example, in this setup, I was between probably 16 and 17 on the sight tapes. I went with 17. I'm just a fraction high. Not the end of the world. Brand new bow. These strings will stretch a little bit. That 17 will probably fall into the perfect spot. If you're going to err on a sight tape, err on the higher tape side. Just because I know this is a new bow. It's going to stretch a little bit, and my tendency is to miss just a little bit low. I tend to hold a little low, so tend to be my miss is a little bit low. So I'm fine with hitting a hair high, because I know in real situations, 3D or hunting, it'll be just a hair low where I hold, and it'll end up meeting its mark. So err on the bigger sight tape. When you're shooting a rover sight, guys, don't forget to rover back up to the home position. Always, always, always rover back up to where you can go back to your 20, 30, 40, your home position, be back up to 0, because if you forget to rover, that's how you launch accidental bombs, and we don't want to do that. So, rover back up. My sight tape's pretty much spot on. I like where it's at. I like what I've chose. What I'll do once I feel good about this sight tape is I'll come back and I will shoot my 20 and my 40 pin. I won't touch this dial at all. I'll just physically move those individual pins to get at 20 and 40 to fine tune that. They should be really, really close based on the spacing, but that is the Ultraview Slider. It is an awesome sight. It's a complex sighting process, but so far the tape has been really, really accurate. It's going to be a good solid sight, one that you can run. I like the tapes, I like how they look. Good sight. Hopefully this video helped you sight it in, because it can be a tricky process. So if you guys got anything else, let us know. If you have questions, just comment below. We'll be happy to answer them. But thank you guys for supporting us, and y'all have a good one. Thanks.